Hey guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God. This is part of our Thanksgiving series and I am making brownies, which is what's going to be for dessert. So there are a couple different ways to do it. I'm going to tell you the variations. If you happen to see my recipe card, I'm not going exactly by what's on the recipe card. You can look at it. This is my mom's original recipe. So she had 1 stick of butter and then 4 squares of chocolate, but we've put in what you use for butter and cocoa because we don't do that. We also don't do some other things. So anyway, with this recipe, you can use either coconut oil or butter. It would be 1 stick plus 6 tablespoons of butter or 14 tablespoons of coconut oil. So I have coconut oil here in my pan. It is melted and it will give the brownies a coconutty taste. So I melted that. I'm just gonna use the pan to mix it up. It'll what?
It'll freeze up quicker if you use coconut oil.
Oh yes, it'll freeze up quicker. So if you put in a cold ingredient, it would freeze up. This will, yeah. Anyway, you're gonna use 6 tablespoons of cocoa. 1, 2, 3.
Definite measurements here.
4. Like my clumpy cocoa. 5, 6. That's more measuring than I usually do, huh?
Is that a pantry item?
This is a pantry item. Cocoa. This recipe here is made with all pantry items. So depending on whether you want to use your flour or coconut oil that you bought in the pantry challenge, you can do either one. I know that what I'm making for my Thanksgiving meal exceeds the amount of coconut oil and butter that you bought for the challenge, but you can decide which of these parts you want to make, and you're probably not making enough for a family of 10 without spending a little extra money with stuff that's already in your pantry. So yeah. Just saying that. This is what feeds our family though. My mom will be here for our Thanksgiving meal tomorrow. So I'm just gonna mix up the cocoa a little bit. You don't have to have it mixed in all the way. Then you're gonna add a dash of salt or a pinch of salt or whatever you want to call it. But you're gonna add some salt.
I want to look at this measurement.
I'm actually gonna pinch it. That's what I'm gonna do. Do you do a pinch? She seasons to taste. She likes salt. I'm just gonna do a pinch.
Yeah, okay. A
Pinch.
Of
salt.
Okay.
Actual pinch. You can get little measuring spoons that say pinch and stuff on them. Smidges
That's
and stuff.
ridiculous.
But I just do a pinch. Okay? And vanilla. Vanilla. Oh, here's the front. See, product placement. Vanilla. Whatever. You can make a little gap. Like we just poked a hole in there so that it doesn't come out so fast. Because when you're doing this, it can spill really fast if you don't do the hole. But you got to squeeze it a little bit to do this. But I never measure with this. This, by the way, for people who don't bake, this is a teaspoon. But I do this. Yep, that's about a teaspoon. Good.
I don't think I caught that.
This is how we measure in our family. You go, shh,
I
hold it for a little bit. And then we are gonna do less sugar than the recipe says. We cut sugar in most of our recipes, but it's still gonna look like a lot of sugar because this is a dessert. So 1, we're gonna do 1.5 cups, but I got a 1/2 cup measure. 2, 3, here we go. 1.5 cups of sugar. And now I'm gonna mix all of this together before I add the eggs. Hi, what you doing? I guess I have a little helper.
Hi.
Hello,
I
3-year-old.
help her.
You're gonna help me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Help you help you.
Nana.
Okay, I don't need your actual help, but you may watch, okay? This is just a watching time. Are we gonna touch mommy's food?
No.
Nope, we're just gonna watch right now, okay? Thank you. I'm gonna put all that stuff over there, but it's not time to touch. You can play with that though if you want. Okay.
Don't look at it, taste yet.
Now we need 4 eggs. He licked it just because he said it was gonna taste funny.
Because he's getting it.
1. 2. If you've seen me cook before, I sometimes crack eggs into another little bowl, so if shells get in, I can get them out. In here, because you're going into chocolate, you can see the shells really well, and I'm pretty good at cracking eggs without getting shells in. You'll see, this next one's not gonna work. But if I have little kids helping me, we definitely crack into another bowl first to make sure that we don't get shells everywhere.
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 Perfecto.
Okay, mix the hands because I got egg goo on it.
No.
Cool story, what?
What?
What? What are you saying?
No.
What are you saying? So then you're gonna beat all this together. You'll notice that in this recipe, if you're new to cooking, it's good to figure out why different things react in recipes the way that they do and why you're going to make different recipes different ways. So most recipes have a leavening agent, something to help it rise. And in this recipe, the eggs act as a little bit of a leavening agent. But this is brownies. You're making fudgy, gooey brownies. You don't want it to rise too much. So you don't have baking powder, you don't have baking soda. But if you know a little bit about cooking, just the more you cook, the more you'll see those things happen. I have a little bit of coconut oil that got thick again. That's the egg. Yeah, you see that piece right there? Can you say hi? So anyway, in recipes, you will figure out just as you start cooking, you'll realize some recipes need baking powder. Some need baking soda. Some will use eggs as the leavening ingredient. This recipe just has the eggs. It doesn't have one of those other things, but just knowledge for another time. Baking powder is used when you're making like muffins and things like that. It will, it has an acid involved in it, like already in it, so that when it hits the liquid, it starts the rising process. Baking soda needs an acid so that it will react. And so you will use baking soda in things like sourdough or things that you're putting like buttermilk in, is the recipes you'll use baking soda. Sometimes you will use both baking soda and baking powder in a recipe, but that's why there's the difference between the two. You need some water? Does that water taste good? Walking around behind you. Okay.
Things as big as you are, too.
So now I'm just getting a cup of flour. This recipe just calls for 1 cup of flour. And we are making an 8x8. That will be enough for everybody to have a brownie, and we probably will not have any leftovers because we'll probably all have a big brownie, which is okay, but we don't need days worth of leftovers in the house. I mean, some people might want days worth of leftovers.
Leftover brownies would be a bad thing?
But we don't need, we've had multiple desserts this week because we're doing this on Friday of my birthday week, which was Monday. So we already had cupcakes 2 different days because we made 24 cupcakes. And we had a different dessert another day. I don't remember what it was. We don't have dessert every day. And we've already had multiple ones this week. So you're just gonna mix this all the way up. What's wrong? And then you're gonna put it in an 8x8. I used butter and I greased this just using my fingers. I greased the pan. And you will notice, I will tell this on the Thanksgiving video too, but we are making these the night before our Thanksgiving meal so that we do not have to do this work tomorrow. I'm trying to do as many things as I can ahead of time because we want to be able to hang out with family and friends on Thanksgiving. So we are gonna, I mean, tomorrow we're doing just my mom. But anyway, I don't have to do my cooking tomorrow because before we do our cooking for this fake Thanksgiving meal that I'm making, I'm just making it a week early so you guys can see it. But before I make this meal tomorrow evening, we have friends coming over for Bible study and lunch tomorrow. And so I want to be able to spend time with them instead of cooking the whole time they're here. So you might see them on the edge of a video or something as I put in my turkey because I don't know how long they're staying around.
So we're going to have guests for lunch.
Yeah.
And our big Thanksgiving spread meal
Tomorrow night.
on the same day.
Yes.
And you're not going to be cooking all day long.
No, I won't be cooking all day long because tomorrow the friends that are coming specifically so that they can do Bible with us in the morning. So the only things that are going to happen in the morning are I'm going to cut potatoes first thing in the morning because potatoes can be cut the day before you need them and then just cover them in water. If you don't cover them in water, they will turn brown. But if you just cover them in water and put them in the fridge, you can have them cut the day before. The problem is my fridge only has so much space and this turkey, which has been thawing today, needs to go in the fridge for the night. And so I don't have room for that and the potatoes, but I could prepare the potatoes tonight too. Those will be done tomorrow morning first thing before, I got chocolate on me, before our guests come. And then while they're here, I don't have to do any cooking until about noon when I have to put the turkey in. And then I won't have to do any more cooking until about 4. where I'll start getting stuff ready to make gravy and those types of things. The only things I'll do in between there is I'm gonna, like, the rolls that we made before, I will take them out and let them rise on the counter, but that's like literally take them out of the fridge and put them on the counter. So yeah, it's not gonna take all day to do that. So anyway, I'm just gonna spread these out in the pan.
I'm just gonna lick that bowl.
You may lick the bowl. Do you wanna lick the,
Yep.
you wanna lick that?
Don't have to ask me twice.
Oh, there's a little bit there. I didn't lick my finger yet. It's still clean. We're just family here. It's okay.
We're a family. Lick it all you want.
There you go. That's for you.
Nice. Yes. Wonderful. Okay.
Anyway, tastes good. Yes, that's right.
Good.
Anyway, what we're gonna do, I got flour on me. We're gonna take this, we're gonna cover this in saran wrap and we're gonna put it in the fridge for tonight. And then tomorrow, when we sit down for our Thanksgiving meal, we will put these in the oven so that we have hot brownies after the meal. So like when I get my rolls out that are gonna be served with the meal, I'll then throw these in the oven. So
Just saran wrap overnight. And that's
just
it?
saran wrap overnight, and so we will show you guys tomorrow what it looks like when they come out of the oven so that you can see an ooey gooey brownie. These are our favorite. These are, Naomi loves making brownies. This is her favorite, but she doesn't like being on camera. So
We love eating brownies.
we do. We love eating brownies. These are really good by themselves. They're really good. You could sprinkle chocolate chips over the top. You could put coconut in them. You could put nuts in them. They're really good with, you can do all three. They're really good with like whipped cream on top. They're really good with ice cream on the side. They're pretty much good for anything chocolate would be good for, which is about everything. So this is our Thanksgiving dessert.
I just realized it's dark outside, obviously. We have the lights on. And we're talking about nighttime, and the clock on the microwave says
147.
1:47.
It is not 1:47.
Okay. So anyhow, sorry.
Sorry, it is
For those who
actually-
might be confused by our time, it's actually 7:30.
So, side note, this doesn't have to do with Thanksgiving. Our microwave and vent are broken. They have a mind of their own and they decide to work. The buttons work sometimes when you push them and sometimes they don't. And sometimes it will work for a while. Like sometimes the fan will come on when you push the fan button, but it won't turn off. And so you have to unplug the whole unit. So we are getting that replaced. So,
Happy birthday, you're getting a microwave.
so if you happen to see in another video that we have a new one, comment and be like, hey, I saw the new one, and we'll see who figures it out first. And maybe no one will figure it out. But that is something that is going to be changed because we need the vent for the winter. In Maine, when you're cooking all the time, you bring a lot of moisture into the house, and we need a vent to make it work. So does that
Well,
taste
our
good
air
there,
exchange
cameraman?
system is working pretty well.
Oh yes, for anyone who's been along for the ride, our air exchange system, which we turned off a couple years ago because there was an issue. We thought it wasn't working, and we now think that the issue, well, I think the issue, I don't know if he agrees with me, but I think the issue might have been, we lived in this house with my mom, and we closed off, cameraman, this is chocolate good. So we closed off the big room over there, and she had the living room as her living room, and we lived on this side of the house. But we realized, well, I realized while we were doing all this, that the main air exchange blowing part is right there in that corner. And our air exchange thermostat thing is in that living room. And so when we had
Completely
it closed
separated as a
off,
second zone.
we thought that it wasn't working because it wasn't running in the right timing we thought it would need, but it wasn't sensing that it needed to run. So I think that's what the problem was, because we were able to just clean out the vents and it's now running and seems to be working fine.
Yep.
So there's that long thing. So we'll get this fixed next. You'll just see changes as we go through the winter and we start making changes in the house. But it's nice. We live in a house that we're able to do that. We do the work, and my mom lets us do that. So it works out well. Anyway.
And if we make money on YouTube, we can afford microwaves.
Yes, I guess. I want to do this video series so that you guys can see ways to save money on food products. And so you can entertain a lot of people for a small amount of money, and then you have leftovers to cook with, and I'll show you what to do with those. But these are the brownies for tomorrow, and we will see you guys next time on Hurting Little Cats to the Glory of God.
Pokey pokey. Are they done?
Not quite.
Quite, very close. All right, what are we doing?
Okay, so she poked him with a fork. I mean, a toothpick. She poked him with a toothpick because when you cook a bunch of different things like that, like cakes or brownies or whatever, if you poke it with a toothpick and it comes out clean, it means that the center's done. If it comes out gooey, it means the center's not done. However it came out, she said it needs just a few more minutes. I can't see it from here. So we'll check them again in a few minutes and we'll show you guys.
Brownies are out.
Okay, the brownies are out, so we are going to enjoy some brownies. She poked them and the toothpick came out clean. And so everyone's waiting for brownies, but they're hot. Are you okay? My child's hurting themselves off screen. So the brownies are hot, so we're going to eat them in a few minutes, and we will show you once we get them here to the table. Hey guys, we got brownies. They're still hot, but they're good. But the kids are piling them in their mouth as soon as they're getting done. So they're like,
Dude, breathe. Breathe on it before you put it in
is
your
it
mouth.
hot? That's his last bite. It was so hot that he... So anyway, I'm going to take my bite.
They're very good.
They're good. Good ending to a Thanksgiving meal.
Not bad.
They're really not bad.
Good and crisp.
Yes, Gideon is currently drinking out of a Fleischmann's yeast container. Because he's
It's washed.
It's clean. Anyway, that's brownies. That's how you make them. If you have any questions, write them in the comments below. We'll see you guys next time on Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God.
Bye.